My career started because my last year of university, I started working with an age group swimming team, really just for fun. And I started, to really love it, so I just thought I would keep going, right? And then I kind of just went from there. After I was going a few years, I moved to a club that I coached with the famous coach Léon Marchand, and then I moved to another club where I coached in Baltimore, Olympic level club, and that was, how it happened. It happened pretty naturally.
That sounds a really long way, but which part of your career are the most proud?
The most proud, well, the end, and hopefully the next part, right? I'm very proud of what we've done internationally with our swimmers, and the thing I'm most proud of is I've been able to take some swimmers from a young age, say Michael was 11 when I started with him, all the way through his career to 31 years old. So that's pretty, I think, something I'm very proud of. Chase Kalish, I started working with him when he was 13, took him to the Olympics all the way through. So it's been fun to develop people.
Is it a kind of a principle for you just to follow the swimmers, or what is your principle?
My principle is whoever's in my group, I try to make them better every day. It's very simple. And if you do that, they tend to consistently improve. And if you do that enough, you end up staying together.
You just mentioned two amazing swimmers, but both of them are best stroke is the medley. Why? Is this your specialty?
Well, I also have Allison Schmidt who only swims freestyle, but there you go. Yeah, I do think that my program is based on the medley swimming.
Yes.
I believe that swimmers should train all four strokes. It's good for their development, and as young swimmers, everyone should swim the individual medley. So I do think it's sort of the basis of what we do.
Probably the Hungarian kind of school is about the medley, so that would be nice if you share how you build up a week.
Well, I think you build up a week based first on the energy systems of training. So for me, Monday, and this is in the afternoon, the main sessions, right? But would be aerobic training, right? Usually in freestyle up to anaerobic threshold. So anaerobic threshold and below. So it would be high volume training, short rest at aerobic levels. Tuesday would be what we would call active rest, or like training, easy fast training, right? So you're having an effort followed by easy swimming, but there's not a lot of rest. The rest is in the easy swimming. And we would mix up strokes on that. The third day, on Wednesday, would be max VO2, which would be some sort of anaerobic training, right, with a lot of rest. And then we would really repeat that cycle the next 3 days. We'd do it again. In the mornings, Monday and Friday, we were doing resistance type training, like, kicking with weights or pulling or using resistance, stretch cords, those kind of things. Wednesday is typically a technical exercise, recovery type work in the middle of the week. On top of that, I think you need to put your different strokes in a cycle so that you cover every energy system with every stroke. So some of the active rest days are rest stroke, and maybe the next one is freestyle or butterfly, however you want to do it. But I tend to rotate the strokes week to week to week, but keep the energy systems the same.
You were talking only about the swimming, but what about the training on land?
Training on land usually occurs on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in the weight room, 1 hour. And potentially other times, if we feel like they need more, they might do other kind of exercises or cardio work or something like that on Monday, Wednesday, Friday after the morning practice.
Okay. You are working in meso and macro cycles.
Yes.
How is that looking?
Well, for me, the microcycle is most important, right? Mesocycle, I have 2 mesocycles. I have one in the fall that goes until December. I have, really 3 in a year. And then one that goes from December through the springtime, April, 1st of April, and then we have the summer one, which goes to August. And there is some sort of, variation there, but for me, periodization occurs in the microcycle.
Your swimmers underwater swim is amazing. How do you work on that?
Well, number one, we plan it into the practices, so almost every practice there's some portion of it where they're working on underwaters. And we're also, you know, insisting that they do that in the regular swimming sets. So let's say someone is swimming a set of 200s, we may say you have to take 5 kicks off every wall or something.
Okay, you have to mix the swimming and the dryland methods and the trainings. Is it connecting together or how is it working?
No, it coordinates together. We have a strength coach who does the dryland, but he's in close contact with me, and I make sure that what he is doing complements what we're doing in the pool and that there's no conflict.
How is the regeneration is working?
It depends on the time of the year, right? Sometimes it may just be one easy practice, you know, a light practice. Sometimes it may be a week. Sometimes it may be we don't do weights 2 days, you know, or something like that. So I'm just constantly watching them and trying to make decisions on that based on where they are. If we're doing a full-scale preparation for a meet, then there's probably 2 or 3 weeks of it.
In Hungary, we usually swim in a training around 6,000 to 8,000 meters. What about your trainings?
Very similar, 7K.
Okay.
The average. So maybe it depends on the time of the year, but in general, we're probably averaging about 7,000 meters.
That's pretty the same. Yeah. So let's talk about a little bit about the Hungarian swimmers. How do you see now the Hungarian swimmers? Because a lot of László Cseh, Katinka, and Verasztó is on to be retired. László is already retired, so now the youngsters are coming up. What do you think about the Hungarian swimmers?
Very good. Milák, right? The best ever. So he's pretty good. I've seen some young cats. You had a young boy in the IM, right? I saw him in the 200 IM. He's doing well. So I feel like the Hungarian system will always produce swimmers. You know, they just have to keep going.
How?
Well, they have good work. They do good work, and they are organized in how they train. And they generally have pretty good technique. So, I mean, I think they're teaching them well. I don't know much about the younger age group system in Hungary, but it seems like, you know, every year at this level, there are a number of swimmers who you can look at and say, okay, they've been developed in a good way.
Would you like to work in Hungary or with Hungarian athletes?
Sure. Maybe in my university, that would be good. They could come there. Okay.